What's up, podcast? Before we start today's episode, I just want to make sure that you guys are following and subscribing all of our content at svaofamerica.com/AssistanceHQ. There you can find all of the latest and greatest content, podcasts, articles, and so much more. The link's going to be in the description, so make sure you don't ever miss a piece of content. It's a whole lot of assistance going on. And now, a moment from our sponsor. What's going on, Ramblers? Welcome back to another episode of The Ramblings. I'm your host, Angelo Roberts Jr. You know exactly what time it is. It's time for another amazing episode. I always say it's an amazing episode because every episode is literally amazing. I don't care what you say. Every episode that I make is amazing. And I think because you have to set a bar or a standard and then increase and then do better. There's always a way to increase or to do better. And I think now that I'm comfortable with recording and that I no longer have to do multiple takes unless there's like some form of a technical difficulty error, I'm pretty excited. Like before, when I very first used to do podcasts, it took me forever just to start, to just say, hey guys, welcome to do all like that intro and everything that I do. It really took like a lot. And I just kept redoing it because I'm like, oh, I don't like it. And then it really hit me. I'm like, I have to do what Gary Vee says. Screw the content, just release. And I think what really was the big kicker and the push towards it, because I was thinking I had to have at least like, some high quality stuff, especially coming from some doing music before. I was like, dang, I really want to have like a high quality kind of recording and everything and all this other stuff. And Gary was like, no, use your phone and record and just put it out there. If I had not listened to that, I would not be in the position that I am today, especially with my podcast. So I want to thank Gary for that kind of motivation, and thank you guys for listening. You feel me? I record these podcasts either on my phone or on Zoom through my laptop. So the fact that it's not a fancy studio and you guys still love the content, love the podcast, love the co-host that we have up here, and I get positive feedback from it. I really appreciate that, especially since it's not like some super fancy studio. So I had an amazing co-host on yesterday's podcast. It was absolutely a beautiful and amazing. If you did not get a chance to go check out yesterday's podcast, go check out yesterday's podcast. It's called what is it called? Repeat that again. I drew a blank for a second. Repeat that again. I'll repeat that again. Yesterday's podcast is called Repeat That Again. And it was extremely uplifting, motivational. My co-host Toshima was absolutely, gem dropping. Like so many different things that we've already talked about on a podcast before were brought back up, but just not from me. And I always feel like, reiteration from someone else is extremely important because it's almost like listening to something, but you're not going to listen to it because it's your parents. It's very similar. So as we've grown, we've seen that, some people are just more receptive to other people. And it's you have to understand that. Like may not be able to communicate on everybody's wavelength. So for certain people, they just listen to certain people better. Like when certain people say things, it just clicks for them. Like when your parents say something, it may not click for you. When your friends say something, it may not click for you. But your significant other, your spouse, might word it or use an example that extremely resonates with, your thought process. And so whatever your spouse said really resonated with you, and then you got it and it clicked. However, your parents, your friends have been telling you these things for a long amount of time. So it really depends on who gives the information just as much as what the information is being given. Because if I sat here and I told you that we have the power as a people to overthrow the government and to do so many different things, and that we should be the people in control, and that it's because of our lack of action that we're in the position that we're in today, and we could have taken action a long time ago and rallied together a long time ago, you'd be like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. However, When I tell you that that's the exact same notion and message that Kanye West was trying to put out there, you guys were calling me crazy, like, oh, wow, how could you support such a statement? Yet, as of today, because action is taken and that these words are coming from someone else that you don't deem as celebrity crazy, fame crazy, from someone's pocket, the idea and the message resonates differently. So I definitely implore you to go check out yesterday's podcast episode, because that's a super long-winded and fancy way of me saying, like, if you're not going to listen to me, take it from my co-host who was on the episode, because not every co-host I've had agrees with me. As you can see, from the series Conversations with Ben, not every single co-host I have agrees with me. Me and Ben are becoming great acquaintances and friends even, but we definitely don't necessarily share the same ideas when it comes to progression, business, and just different mindsets. And you can have two sides of the same coin. It's two different sides of the same coin. And it really resonates differently now, because when you think of it, you have 2 points, two completely conflicting ideas. They're very contradictory, yet they're of the same coin, meaning they go together. They can go hand in hand, meaning neither is right, meaning neither is wrong, but both has a point. Anyway, it's been a slow week. It's been an extremely slow week. And I feel like it's because I've done a lot of procrastination. First, I've done a lot of learning, but I've also done a lot of procrastination. And it's just been a struggle to find out a marketing and advertising strategy that's working. Because now that I have like what I want my brand to be, because I want it to be integrity built on raw, unbiased, factual, elite providing services of work. So what I mean by that is the company is founded on integrity. So that means we must stay true to who we are. And I must stay true to who I am as a person, as an employee, as the owner of the company, as a son, as anything that I might be. I must stay true to that. I am an entrepreneur. I must stay true to that. So as someone who must stay true to them, you must stay true to your beliefs. And so if I'm going to believe that in order to be successful, you have to do whatever it takes, and that any steps you don't necessarily, like, any steps you take that are forward are steps forward no matter what. So I'll take this example. I was extremely wary about posting maybe a personal picture on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is an extremely professional platform. But I posted a picture in a do-rag. So now, before I even posted it, the picture was just taken because I'm like, oh, I kind of want to take this picture. But I've never posted something like that on LinkedIn. And it's because LinkedIn can be very judgmental sometimes. And you want to really, and so it can just be like, that's not the platform for it. However, when you see other people posting these things and you're like, oh, how come I can't do things professional like that? You can. What's to say it's not professional? Are you not being professional? You have to think of that. You have to think of the content of the picture versus the picture itself. What is the content of the picture? The picture say 1,000 words. What is the content of the picture? What is the context of the picture? It's very important. Take a picture just like this, smiling, almost profile-like. And now that I realize profile-like sound is like prolific. Anyway, almost profile-like. And it just felt postable, because the context, there was nothing illegal, there was nothing wrong, there was nothing unprofessional going on about that situation. It's not like, you posted a picture of a rave or a party. And even then, context is important, because if you posted a video of a rave or a concert and you brought forward a point to make light or to make notice of something, again, it's completely different because of the context of the video, because of the context of the photo. So I took the photo and put it up there, And I was extremely nervous because, like I said, I was in a do-rag, and as a Black person, you're extremely conscious of how you look, especially in public, and especially how you present yourself to public people. Because as a Black person, we all know that you represent another person, and unless you're a Black person, that's one thing that is very hard for other entrepreneurs and business owners to convey, that as a Black person, your business represents other Black people, unfortunately. Because think of this: Target, Walmart, Costco, Sam's Club, and all of these major food companies that have gotten into trouble with their pay and the treatment of their employees have not been bundled together. So you guys aren't saying, oh, Walmart and Target and Costco, all of them together, they all treat their employees bad. I'm not going to shop there. However, you will collude or group together. I don't think I used the right word. You will group together a bunch of Black businesses, or say you won't shop Black businesses until the customer support is better, but you haven't been to every Black business. But because of the Black businesses or the bad or negative Black experiences that you've had at Black businesses, you have decided to say, you know what? Until Black people do better at customer service, I won't shop with Black businesses. So how come it's not when white people treat their employees better, give them a livable wage, and actually stand behind our community, I will then support them? How come we don't hold out for that, but we'll hold out because we want customer service and we're not getting it from the places that we're getting it at? That tells me two things. One, you're the weakest link. Two, you're the weakest link. Because we could easily say and group together groups of people that do business a certain way. We could easily group together and say, oh, I'm not going to shop at any Indian store, any store with someone from a Middle Eastern descent, because they are racist towards me. I go in there and it is like, not me personally, but as a person, as a Black person. So why aren't we holding out for that? Because there are corner stores you don't want to walk to the next corner store because you don't feel like walking to the Jamaican store that's 2 blocks up, and the Asian spots or the Dominican spots or the Indian spots are closer. So you don't want to take that walk to a Black business. Why? Convenience. Yet you will walk that extra 2 blocks if you got bad service and that person was Black. Why? Just some thoughts. Just some thoughts. Hey Ramblers, before you go, make sure you're following us on social media at Assistance HQ across the board for all content and exclusives. And for an even more personal touch, subscribe to our weekly newsletter with the link in the description.